Everybody clap your hands. Come on, Detroit, clap your hands right there. I finished rhyme. And I won't do what?
Hello everybody, welcome to JTCH Talks. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Today's JTCH Talks segment is going to be a little bit different than what I would normally talk about. So before I go into my actual JTCH Talks topic for today, I want to tell y'all a quick story. So let's jump into it, y'all. So earlier this year in March, I was at a, let me fix my church a little bit. I was at a prophetic conference earlier this year in March. And I have to say the service was good. But as the prophet was prophesying, he was prophesying to everyone like prophets normally do. And the prophet came up to me and he started prophesying to me and all. But what I had an issue was, and I think back to it, whenever a prophet puts a timestamp on something, for example, in the next 30 days, you're going to do such and such and such and such, I expect to see that. And it's July and I haven't seen it. But the thing that God was dealing with me with last week as I was thinking back to that specific moment, and not to mention some of the posts that I've seen on Facebook and Instagram and all the other social media sites concerning false prophets we see today, what God began to deal with me was, and he said this to me. He said, Jordan, learn how to seek me for yourself. Yep, learn how to seek me for yourself. 1 John chapter 4 and 1, I read the Message version, and I actually like the Message version better, so here it is. My dear friends, don't believe everything you hear. Carefully weigh and examine what people tell you. Not everyone who talks about God comes from God. There are a lot of lying preachers loose in the world. Let's go back to that line again. There are a lot of lying preachers loose in the world. When we look at that verse, it simply means to try the Spirit by the Spirit. Because one thing I've learned while in my walk with God is that I believe in prophecy, and everyone should believe in that. But on the contrary, every spirit is not from God. We have some prophets that prophesy out of familiarity, divination, manipulation, or they're just tapping into a different spirit that is not God. And let me tell you, that is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So I encourage you to get back in the posture of seeking God for yourself. Because one thing I've learned, we rely on a prophet so much. It's like we're almost prophet chasers. And I can tell you this because I've been in the same situation myself. We can be prophet chasers so much that we forget the one that we run to the most, which is God. And another thing that I have found out is that we spend so much time chasing prophets so much that we forget about the one thing that reveals and actually shows us what we need to do in the next direction or in the next season. It's this. The reality is, come here. The reality is, a lot of us wouldn't be bamboozled if we had read this more and we had prayed more, when the reality is we're just lazy and we get mad because a prophet is inaccurate when you should have been reading the word and seeking God about it in the first place. Uh-oh. Oh boy. So let this be a wake-up call and a reality check for all the people of God out there to seek God's face for yourself. Because I really believe that that's what drives a lot of people from church, is because we have a lot of prophets today that deceive, mislead, and say things out of their, or prophesy things rather, out of their emotions when they're not hearing from God. And that's where you need to use the most discernment. Because if you don't, you will mess around and let the enemy fool you. And that's not a good place to be. So, I encourage you to seek God any way you can and allow the Lord to lead you into and direct you into the way that He wants you to be. Hope this lesson encouraged you. I love y'all so much. And as always, bring the choir back. Peace out, y'all.